Hello, Aries. Here we are. It is a weekly read. Aries, here we go. I hope you are well. How are you doing, my fire family? Thanks for stopping in here. I appreciate you. Happy new week to you. Here we go. Let's talk about you, Aries. We've got a bunch of oracles here. We're going to start with these, and we are going to go to the tarot. At the end of this video, I'm going to tell you about how to find the extended and how to get a private reading if that's what you are into, friend. Let's find out what's going on for you, Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. I'm still on about the full moon, and you know, we do feel the full moon energies long after the full moons have come by. This particular one in Leo that just came by this month was pretty strong one. Let's find out what you're giving up, friend. What are you giving up? What are you releasing? What's changed for you since the full moon? Let's find out what's going on for Aries. Fire family, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Okay, look, I feel like you have reflected on something. I feel like you decided to give something up, cut something out, surrender something to the universe. It feels like something that you felt like you had no control over anyway. I feel like you're slowly learning, Aries, that even though you're about control, that you really don't have as much control as you think you do. So I feel like this is really what we're reading about today, reflecting and surrender. And I feel like doing these two things is going to help remove some sort of a barrier. Now, we do see a river. It could be something that was emotional. It doesn't have to be, but it does feel like regardless of what kind of barrier it was for you, it feels like the act of surrender, which is not just giving up. That's not what surrender is. Surrender is, okay, I trust you. Here it is. Giving it back to the universe and saying, I'm going to wait until the right moment when everything is in its place, and then I'm going to trust what comes next. So I feel like it took you a long time to reflect on this, is what it feels like. Reflect on the surrender, because maybe it felt like giving up to you. And please know that surrender is never about giving up. It's about asking for help and then handing it over, knowing that maybe there is someone else, something else. It could be a person on the earth. It could be the universe. It feels like a barrier is going to be released for you, Aries, because you are surrendering, or you're just saying, fine, if that's the way it's going to be, that's the way it's going to be. Tell you what, one of the most prominent Aries in my entire life taught me a phrase that I use today, and now I finally understand it. And that phrase is, it is what it is. I feel like that's what this surrender is about. It's, you know, it is what it is when you can't change it. There's nothing you can do, no matter how much fire you throw at it. You can't burn it to the ground. Then you have to just be with it as it is. And that's what it feels like this is. Look, we've got manifest and we've got ego. I feel like somebody's manifesting an ego death. That's what this surrender feels like. I'm no longer going to feel like I'm the one in charge. And I'm going to realize that sometime I'm going to have to take the shotgun. Sometimes I'm going to have to sit next to the person that's driving. Sometimes I'm going to have to give over the wheel, right? All right. Let's find out what else we've got here for you, Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter signs. Tell me about Aries. I think it's Monday as these are coming out, being published. So happy new week to you, friend. Tell me about Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Yeah, I'm behind on everything, Aries. Look, there's been some construction going on in my condo, and it's really screwed up my cycle of putting out readings. So please make sure that you do subscribe if you are interested in knowing when your sign is being uploaded. Please hit that bell button. You can only hit the bell button if you subscribe. So please subscribe. All right, if you want to know when I'm uploading. Wandering path, enduring the journey. Okay, so look, this is really very poignant to the rest of this reading, because the wandering path is about enjoying the journey. It's not about the outcome, right? So many people want the outcome. Like, as a reader, as someone who does a lot, and I mean a lot of private readings, the biggest question, probably the most common question I get at least 75% of the time is, when? Tell me when. Tell me when the outcome is. What's going to happen? Tell me when. And, you know, the fact of the matter is, if you can't learn to enjoy the journey, the goalpost moves anyway. You're never going to get to the outcome if you can't learn to enjoy the journey. The outcome arrives when you are busy, when you're looking at the map, when your head is down, when you're focusing on yourself, focusing on the journey. And, you know, sometimes we never get to we never get to the end, and we never get to the outcome that we want. but sometimes it's because we were supposed to enjoy the journey and not necessarily focus on the outcome. We've got open your heart to joy. And I really do feel like that by surrendering here, that you are going to find your joy in the journey, my friend. So I think that if you're the person who's very oriented to, I need to know what's going to happen, when it's going to happen, is it Tuesday under the light of the moon? And you know what I mean? Like, I feel like somebody here needs to just chill, man. Just take a chill pill. Right? I brought my surrender deck today because I think there's something here that you might need to surrender. Although, you know, it says here in your reading that you are surrendering something. Let's find out what that is. It doesn't have to be this particular thing for all of you. Let's talk to Aries about what is good to surrender here. Tell me about Aries and the surrender. Tell me about Aries. Tell me about Aries. We've got, you know what, I'm laughing? I'm not because of you, but because of me. Look, I'm an Aries Pisces cusp, born at the 24th day of April. So this is funny because this whole last 2 weeks has been nothing but frustration for me. So I'm right there with you for all of those of you who have been experiencing a lot of frustration. Surrendering frustration is what you're being asked, and surrender is right here. So it says frustration doesn't open any doors. Is it the truth? I think it is. Look, I've been acting like the ram for the last 2 weeks, putting my head down. I've been acting like a ram crossed with a bull. Yeah, and it's not really been doing me any good, if I'm being honest. It says frustration doesn't open any doors. The key to resolving a dilemma or dissolving a block is to, a barrier, right? Yeah, resolving a block is to take a breath. Whew, center yourself and regroup so you may approach the situation more calmly. Don't tell me to be calm. I can hear somebody saying it. Don't fucking tell me how to be calm. What's this? Okay, surrender to your full power. Honestly, I feel like your full power is in the surrender. When you finally just realize that it is what it is, that there's no way that you're going to get through the wall, even if you put your head down and bash your head into the wall, you're never going to get through the wall. The wall is stronger than you. So I feel like it is what it is. Sit where you are and just learn to be in the surrender. It says surrendering to your full power. It says your life is calling for you to step into your full power rather than playing it small. All right, let's get to the tarot. Let's find out what's going on for Aries. Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter signs, fire family. Let's find out what's going on here. Let's talk about reflect, surrender. What is the barrier that you're removing? And what's going to happen on the wandering path? Because I feel like at this point where it is what it is and you can't change it no matter what you do, no matter how many fires you set, no matter how many times you hit something with your forehead, I don't think you have control of it, I'm going to be honest. I feel like you're being taught to cool your frickin' jets. Tell me about Aries. All right, we've got the Four of Wands. Reflect. Reflect on stability. What does it look like when you're celebratory? What does it look like when you're stable in your energy? What does it look like when you're not trying to push things over with your forehead? I feel like the reflection is, maybe I need to get a little more stability into my life. I feel like you're, with the Seven of Wands here, it feels like you're very, I'm going to say adversarial with surrender. I feel as though you feel that you're in control of everything and you want to be in control, and when you're not in control, it frustrates you. But you're being asked to surrender the frustration and to maybe cultivate your Four of Wands. I'm just going to say the Four of Wands is here, right, in the reflection, but you can see that somebody is stoking the fire around the Four of Wands because the Three of Wands is here. This is the Seven of Wands, right? It does feel like you are... I'm going to say that it's time for you to pay attention more to your stability and turn your back to the future for a moment, because it feels like whatever is going on right now, whatever you have to surrender, is something that is around stability, home, hearth. It's around like your ability to be able to celebrate even when things are not going the way you want them to, I think. The Five of Wands is here and there's a barrier. Look, the Five of Wands could be the barrier. Maybe the barrier is that you're in in attack mode. The barrier could be, because the Five of Wands is indecision, but it is also, the inner turmoil, the inner fight. And so it feels like your barrier is how you feel about something. It feels like you're fighting everything. Don't tell me what to do. I'm going to do what I want to do. Like, it feels like you're fighting everything, like you're in fight mode, in Fight Club right now. We do have the Nine of Cups. And what I really love about this is, like, if you just decide to just set out on the wandering path and enjoy the journey, the Nine of Cups appears. And that's alignment. That's learning to be happy on the inside and the outside. And that's where you get to be after it is what it is. When you realize that you are definitely not in control of everything, and that sometimes just letting something go, stop pursuing it, stop ramming it, stop setting things on fire, that sometimes it does bring you to the outcome. And the outcome is the Nine of Cups, which is alignment. It feels like the King of Swords is here. It feels like somebody is dealing in, I think that where your frustration is coming from, where your frustration might be coming from, is something that you need to be perfect about. It feels like with the King of Swords energy that there are facts. Like you're saying to me, Elsie, but you don't understand. If I step out of line and I give them a wrong fact, I'm screwed. Like, it feels like somebody here, it has to be on point all the time, has to be on point. And I think that's part of the frustration, is that you've got all the details, you've got all the facts, you've got all the figures, you know what the truth is, and somebody's trying to gaslight you and tell you, no, that's not what I said. It feels sort of like somebody is frustrated because I know what's going on. I'm very clear about what the truth is, and somebody's trying to gaslight me. So I feel like whatever this is, you need to give it up. You need to stop facing it. You need to stop ramming it. You need to just surrender it, friend, because it's become a barrier in your life. And this isn't a lesson that you're learning about this one situation. This is a barrier that has been present in a lot of other situations in your life as well. Tell me about the Four of Wands and reflect. I think you're reflecting on a calmer time or a more stable time, or where things were more simple. Things were a little more together. Family was happy, celebration was going on, maybe thinking back to a calmer time. We've got the Strength card, we've got the Queen of Cups, and we have the Lovers. Yeah, your reflection is about a calmer time when choices were easier, when the only choice I had to make was who I was going to love or how I was going to find stability in a relationship. Like, it feels like somebody here is like, I don't want to deal with all this crap. I don't want to have the frustration. I don't want to be in a place where I feel like I have to flick a match and walk off. I don't want to be in that energy. So I feel like the reflection part of it here is you're being asked to reflect on an easier time, a time with the Queen of Cups, calm, sensitive, empathic, kind, compassionate time, where things were a little bit easier. It feels like somebody here, this whole thing I could be talking about might be that you are in the struggle of your life to hold a relationship together, to hold a marriage together, to hold a family together, to hold something like that together. Because the Queen of Cups is showing up, and to me that's the mother or the father. And the Strength card is here. You're trying to find the courage to bring things back to the place where they were stable, where they were kind, compassionate, loving. The Lovers is here. It feels like this is a choice. I'm just going to say you've always had the choice, and you need to make the choice. You need to make the choice, I feel, to surrender. The Seven of Wands is always about the block. It's also about standing up for yourself, right? It's about drawing boundaries. And I feel like somebody here really is very focused on the Four Wands, on building the fire, or I would say, this person looks like they're kind of tending the fire or stoking the fire. I think you're taking care of the Four of Wands. I think you want to surrender to a happier time, but I feel that you're like, but the happier time is in the past. How can I make it the present moment? Tell me about this for Aries. Tell me about the Seven of Wands and surrender. How can I stand up for myself and surrender at the same time? We've got the Page of Cups. We've got the Justice card, and we've got the Five of Swords. Well, I think that you can stop arguing. And it feels like that. It feels like you're arguing a point where you're never going to get the answer. Someone is never going to agree to your terms, is what it feels like. The Five of Swords is fundamental differences. It's also arguments and fights. It can be external or internal. It does feel like it might be external for some of you, that you're arguing to a point, or about a point that someone is never going to agree to see something the way you see it. I feel like the surrender is about justice. It's about going from the 5 of swords to justice, 6 swords together, right? It's about moving on from this. I gotta stop standing at the brick wall and yelling at it to move. It's gotta be. It is what it is. The Page of Cups is here. I feel like if you stand up for yourself, and that means building a boundary and walking away. Standing up for yourself doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to stand there and fight with wands or swords. It means sometimes that the best thing to do is to walk away, and that's how you surrender. I feel like the Page of Cups tells me that good news is coming. It feels like something... so it's going to make you feel better to stand up for yourself and walk away and bring things into harmony, or to restore happiness or restore emotion, bring a little bit of emotion into the situation. We've got a lot of swords and wands here. It feels like you're dealing with things in fire and dealing with things in swords. So we don't have any emotion in it. You might be dealing with some sort of situation where you're aloof or detached. And so I feel like the surrender tells me that the surrender will bring you to a place of harmony. It's going to bring you to a place of balance. I feel like it's time for you to turn your back on what you know, the argument you're never going to win. Somebody's never going to agree with you, Aries. You're going to have to agree to disagree on the fundamental difference, and that's what will bring you to harmony. When you decide that you're never going to change somebody's mind, you're never going to change the situation, it is what it is, my Aries friends. So I feel like this Page of Cups is good news that will show up. It does feel like there is an answer, and the answer is to put up your boundaries, walk away, and stop arguing about something that you're never going to win. You're never going to win it, friend. And I know you're probably sitting there saying, don't tell me what I'm going to do. Because that's a little bit defiance in you, right? But it's what's kept you alive up till now, right? It's kept you in the game. It's kept you getting what you want. Yeah, because that's King of Wands energy, and the King of Wands always gets what they want. We've got the 5 of Wands here. It does feel like that the barrier might be how you feel about something. Either you're in indecision about something, or it's the internal struggle. It feels like the barrier, you've been fighting at the barrier. That's what it feels like. The barrier is the fight, or is the entanglement, right, of this fire energy is what it feels like. Tell me about the 5 of Wands. We've got the Death card. We've got the 3 of Cups, and we've got the 2 of Cups. Look, I feel like there is indecision or an argument or a fight internally going on here. The argument with yourself is the Death card. Do I just end this? Because I don't have any more energy to spend on this. I'm looking at the 3 of Cups, and I'm looking at the 2 of Cups. That's 5 cups for me. It's like, if I spend more effort, time, and energy on this, if I put in my emotional self all into this, am I going to regret it, 5 of Cups? Because I feel like the Death card with the 3 of Cups tells me that something has broken open. Something has ended. There was like a celebratory time, or there was an emotionally celebratory time, or maybe a group of people, a family group, or people that you would regularly reunite with, friends, family. It feels like, I think that you're ready to end something, but I think that you're, with the 5 of Wands, that you're in indecision. You don't want it to end, but you can't change it. The 5 of Swords is here. That's the thing. It is what it is, friend. You can't win it. And I think that you're terrorizing yourself by standing here with the 2 of Cups saying, but I do want to share with you. I want to share this with you. But it does feel like with this barrier, that is the barrier. The barrier is that I feel like you want to share, but I feel like you can't get blood from a stone. And I feel like you want to share yourself with somebody, but someone is not giving you that in return. Look, I feel like no matter what, the journey is to be enjoyed. It's the places that you go, the people that you meet, Why am I hearing that? Hang on a second. Charlie's talking to me. Charlie is my guide, by the way. Okay, I'm hearing a song from Sesame Street. I know this is weird, but maybe it applies. It's somebody, it says, it's that song, Who Are the People in Your Neighborhood? In your neighborhood? In your neighborhood? Who are the people in your neighborhood? Yeah. So I feel like it could be a neighborhood argument. Maybe you don't want to leave your neighborhood because it's a really good neighborhood, but I feel like there's like backbiting and arguments and fights going on. Like people are talking behind your back. Like, it feels like it could be some of that for somebody here. Not everybody, of course. That's just a one-off. And I have to listen to those things when they arrive. So anyways, this enjoying the journey part of it here, I think, is what we're talking about. I feel like if you decide that, the death card is here. I feel like something is about to come to an end, or it's going to transform. Things that end don't always just end flat, right? You don't always just cut somebody out of your life, but maybe we can transform the situation and you can agree to look at something from a different way and decide, okay, well, if maybe I can live with the changes, right? When the death card shows up. But for some of you, I feel like the death card here with the Five of Wands tells me I'm just going to stop fighting. I'm going to stop fighting myself. I'm going to stop arguing within myself. I'm going to stop fighting with myself internally. And I'm just going to surrender to the universe and say, look, if this is a relationship, if this is someone that you shared intimacy with, someone who knows all your secrets, it feels like something here is about to come to an end and you won't let it go. It feels like it could be a bad relationship, a bad friendship, but you're loyal and you don't want to let it go. Tell me about the Nine of Cups here. What happens if you just decide to just surrender, let it go, stop arguing, and enjoy the journey? Because it's never going to go back to the way it was, Aries. That's the truth. Screw that shit. I'm in frustration. That card fell and I'm like, I'm not going to go dive for it. Screw it. We've got, I think that's your energy right now. We've got the Hierophant. We've got the Five of Cups. Look, the Five of Cups came up. I was talking about it here already, right? And then we've got the Six of Pentacles. Look, I feel like we are talking about some sort of commitment. Now, it doesn't have to be relationship related. Look, it could be a commitment that you made to somebody about maybe you're going and cleaning their house every day and you're not getting paid for it. And it's just something that is exhausting you. Maybe you agreed to do it, but now it's coming to a point where you're sacrificing your own mental health or your own health to perform the duty that you said you would do forever. It feels, because the loyalty of the Hierophant. I feel like somebody here is, I want to say that when you decide to surrender all of this and stop fighting, it is what it is. It's never going to change. And when you stop fighting the natural flow of things here, I feel like that's when you're able to stand on business, build a better structure. You can become stronger. But I think that this is the issue here. You're like, yeah, fine, I can enjoy the journey, but what about the Five of Cups and the Six of Pentacles? I regret even giving this person my time, effort, or energy, and that really pisses me off. I'm going to say that if you can release it, let it go, or surrender it, then I feel like the Nine of Cups is yours, but not until then. We've got the Seven of Pentacles. You've been carrying this around for a long time, friend, and I think that it's stressing you the hell out. Look, we're going to go to the extended. If you want to be there, please look at the top of the comments. I clarify all of this. We're going to put down 3 more cards about what's the outcome of this. What is your advice going forward? How are you supposed to surrender? Maybe you don't know how. Maybe we'll talk about that more. And so please look at the top of the comments. There is a pinned comment there that'll show you how to get to the membership area. That's where all the extendeds go. If you're interested in a private reading, please click on the Hypsee link. My pre-recorded readings begin at $25 and go up from there. You can look through all of my pricings and my packages. If you're interested in connecting with me live, you can do that as well. Anywhere between 5 and 75% off connecting with me live. Let's look at 3 cards as we go into the extended. Tell me about Aries. Tell me about Aries. We've got the Seven of Swords, friend. We've got the Three of Pentacles. Somebody lied to you. Somebody lied to you about the foundation, the Three of Pentacles. Somebody lied to you. Somebody who you thought was collaborative, who was cooperative, who was in your network, someone who was in a partnership with you. It feels like somebody lied to you about that. You thought that you were building a solid and firm foundation with someone, something, a place of work, a boss, maybe a partnership. It seems pentacle-like. For some of you, it's love. For some of you, it's somebody that you've invested your whole emotional self into. But for some of you, it's partnership. But it could be the building of this love. It feels like you feel that somebody lied to you or deceived you, that they're not delivering on what they said they were going to bring to you. It feels like that's what the worry is. How do I deal with this now? Because now I see the things for what they are. Now I know that I have to walk away from the situation, and I don't know how to do that. So I feel like we're going to go into the extended and probably talk more about that. We've got the Six of Wands here. I feel like you're in the dark night of the soul. The Six of Wands is always the place where we're coming out of the dark tunnel. We're coming out of the dark night of the soul, right? This is the success and the victory after defeat, after being in the, coming back from the fight or the war. This is the war zone. zone is what it feels like. Aries, I'm going to go right now. If you want to come and join us, that would be cool. And if not, I'll see you again because I always do. I'll be back because I'm always back. Take care, Aries. Thank you. Bye-bye.